Hi and welcome to this update for patch 7.1.5 from the PTR for Retribution Paladins. And good news everyone, we have some very positive news. The first one of which is that if we check our spell book, we have here Greater Blessing of Kings, Greater Blessing of Wisdom, no Greater Blessing of Might. It's gone. It's gone. Now Blizzard did say that it was a failed experiment. It was something that of course all us Rets were telling them a long time ago, nearly a year ago, when they introduced this catastrophe of a mechanic. Blizzard have finally come out and admitted that, good for them. And they said they were going to get rid of it once they had decided on a useful replacement for it, which was a little worrying, especially as I noted that nothing at all would be a good replacement for that thing. And they've agreed with that now, and they've just got rid of it. They haven't replaced it with anything stupid. They've just got rid of it, which is excellent news. And it doesn't end there. Greater Blessing of Kings and Greater Blessing of Wisdom. They've sort of changed the way we allocate Greater Blessings. So how it is in live, we have 3 types of Greater Blessing, and we can put 3 out there. But it doesn't have to be one of each. It could be 2 of one and 1 of another, or 3 of one, which is what we do now with putting 3 Greater Blessings of Might out there. Now it's changed. We can just put a single Greater Blessing of Kings on someone. We can put a single Greater Blessing of Wisdom on someone. It could be on the same person as far as I can tell. But in fact, let's just try it here. Because usually you can put them on NPCs. Oh no, you can't. Balls. I'll just do it on myself. I assume we can do this. Oh, I did put it on myself. So there we go. We can put 2 on the same person. That's no problem. Greater Blessing of Kings has been increased as well. It works the same way, but the actual absorb shield has been significantly increased. Maybe it'll be more useful, who knows. Greater Blessing of Wisdom has also been buffed. It used to do 1% health and mana every 15 seconds. Now it's going to be 10 seconds. So that's a significant increase as well. They're not going to be like hideously requested. We're not going to get people beating on our doors, whispering us, going, give me might. Or sorry, not give me might. Give me kings or give me wisdom. But they could be reasonably useful, and the fact that we don't have to choose them over might just means that we are going to use them both, and that's really good as well. Now, the question then becomes our overall damage, because of course we relied upon Greater Blessing of Might for our damage. What has happened about that? Well, what they've done is basically to increase the damage that most of our abilities do by 12%. That should pretty much cover it. Just basically increasing the damage all our abilities do by 12% should cover that one, so it should be fine. There may well be some fine tuning to come before the patch goes live, and then when the patch does go live, there may be some more tuning in the couple of weeks after that. We'll just have to see how the land lies there. But that all sounds really positive. Now, the second change is also really positive, but some people at first might think, oh, that's not very good. They are nerfing some legendaries. Good news, right? Yes, it is. Now, let's look at the 2 main damage output ones we have in live at the moment. Whisper of the Nathrazim, the Cloak, and Liadrin's Fury Unleashed, which is the ring that I was fortunate enough to get. So Whisper of the Nathrazim, what it does in live is it gives us a buff for 25% extra Templar's Verdicts or Divine Storm damage, as long as we do another one within a few seconds. It's been nerfed down to 15%. Very significant nerf. Liadrin's Fury Unleashed on live gives us a holy power every 2.5 seconds, while Crusade or Avenging Wrath are up. This time it's only going to do it every 4 seconds, so we're going to get fewer holy power from that. Now, that is actually good news, whether you think so or not. If you happen to be lucky and you've got both the cloak and the ring, you will probably think it's not very good news. But for everyone, it actually is. Very few people have the cloak and the ring. Not that many have either the cloak or the ring, and quite a lot of people have neither. Now, the difference, let's say you've got 2 players who are of equal skill. The difference between one of those players having the cloak and the good ring, and the other player having neither of those, is massive, and it's not really fair. It's hideously unfair to be in that situation. So by nerfing it like this, you're still unlucky if you don't have either, and you're still lucky if you've got both of them, because they both increase your damage. There will still be a difference between those 2 players of equal skill, and everything else being the same fight length and role in the fight and all the rest of it. But it's not as big as it was. You know, you haven't got this yawning chasm anymore. It's more like The people with the legendaries have a significant advantage without being this massive advantage. And I think that's got to be for the better. So those are the main two changes. What I'm just going to go through is what the changes in general are for this patch, just in case anyone missed my last video, just to keep you up to date. One of the main ones, again, coming on to legendaries, is the fact that at the moment, out of the 8 legendaries that we have in live, only 2 of them are effective DPS increases. Sure, Cephas's Secret can give you a bit of haste if you're able to sort of do a bit of crowd control or something, but that really doesn't come up very much in raids, and it's not that brilliant in dungeons. That's been buffed a little bit. We'll get more haste from it, and interrupts will work as well. It's still not going to be great for raids. I would say it'd be significantly better for dungeons though. But the main news is, of course, in addition to that, Chain of Thrain is being made a throughput, a damage increasing legendary, even though Blizzard have said recently they wish they'd have made all legendaries utility legendaries so that none of them gave you a damage increase. I don't agree, and I think that particular mindset is worrying when you're looking ahead to the next expansion. But in the here and now, we'll forget about the next expansion for now. In the here and now, what they've actually done, because they have got what are called throughput legendaries, ones that increase your damage, they've actually gone the other way to the way they'd like to go, and it's more in the direction I'd like to go, in that they've increased the number of legendaries that will give you a damage input. So not only is Cephas's Secret going to be made better for damage, Chain of Thrain has been changed from shit utility to actually pretty good damage, even though they've sort of nerfed it compared to the previous PTR, but it's really weird to talk about nerfs from PTR patch to patch. What matters is from live to PTR, and it's a buff from that point of view. In addition, our 2 new legendaries, we're going to get a legendary shoulder and legendary trinket. These are both damage items as well, so they're really good. So all in all, if we have a look at it, what will happen when this patch goes live, if it stays as it is now, which of course I'm not expecting it to exactly, but it's hopefully looking more like the way it will be. I'd be perfectly happy if it sort of stayed like this for now, as far as I can tell. So the helm would still be pretty shit. The shoulders would be good. The arm guards, I actually have the arm guards. I don't mind the arm guards. It's very difficult to call them a DPS increase, even though you sort of could use them for that, but I don't deliberately use them for that. It's a bit dodgy. The boots, some people like it. I'm not so keen. But it's certainly not a DPS throughput item. The ring is a DPS item. So we've got the shoulders and the ring from this column. And then from here, the neck is been made a bit better, but it's still, you can see you've got crit haste and mastery on it there. Because, of course, rings and necks are getting extra sort of stats on them. Also, the damage absorb is being made better than it was in terms of how it works, so we'll get it more often. But it's not a DPS one. The cloak is a DPS as normal. The chain is now a DPS. Cephas's Secret is a better DPS, and the trinket is a DPS as well. So we will have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 legendaries. So that's 60% of them will be DPS increasing legendaries. Some better than others, of course, as opposed to the sort of, I would argue, 25. But if you were most charitable, 38% of the ones that we have currently in live. So that's a lot better. It means that you're less likely to be completely unlucky and not get a DPS increase. And then the final thing just to note out, again, if you missed the last video and you've not been keeping up with the changes, is that Seal of Light in terms of talents is disappearing and it's been replaced with Judgment of Light. This is exactly the same as someone pointed, or many people pointed out from my last video, is exactly the same as the talent that Retribution Paladins have right now in live. I quite like it. I like this idea. I may well use it from time to time. Some people don't like it. That's fine. Everyone will see different values and different things. But I think what we can all agree on is that Seal of Light was a load of tosh that no one was using. So it at least has been replaced by something that maybe we'll use from time to time. So that's all positive as well. So really good news so far. I'm really looking forward to the patch now. I won't have to mess about trying to work out who to put my Greater Blessing of Mights on, because it's a total nightmare. It's a total nightmare tonight. Every raid is a nightmare because I'm not thinking about how am I going to maximize my performance. I'm thinking about which 3 can I trust to do a load of damage on the most appropriate adds, or just the most damage overall depending on the fight, and put Might on, because my Blessing of Might is usually a curse. They either die or just do really crap. Maybe they're a spec that where their performance can vary wildly, of course, into procs or something like that. It's just an utter nightmare, and I'm now looking forward to the fact that within a few weeks, it'll be gone. I won't have to worry about it anymore. Hallelujah. So hopefully the rest of you are feeling just as positive about that. Even as I say, the legendary nerfs, hopefully you can see how that is also a positive. Remember, they're not just nerfing Retribution legendaries, they're nerfing DPS legendaries across the board. Okay, so I'm really happy about that. Even though I was lucky enough to get one of those DPS legendaries, I'm still happy about that for the overall benefit of players across the board. I know that a lot of people have been disenchanted by legendaries. We said this before Legion ever came out, that this legendary system is not good and that we're going to get exactly the problems that we've had now, but you know, there we go. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, and until next time, I'll catch you later.